Oh, precious ones, if you are calling for the direction of your mighty I Am presence, and some with you who have read the magic presence, I feel well acquainted, for you know to us there is no time, space, nor absence. While reading of the experiences which occurred within our domain, every time you touch upon them you are in touch with our center of wondrous activity. Do you realize that, oh, precious students of the light? I say to those who might think they have read those books sufficiently, do you realize that just the words you read are only a part of this great, this mighty activity? It is your attention to these great focuses of light which I want you to understand is the important thing. Only as your attention is fixed upon the words describing these places, which are very real, can you have the fullness of all that is waiting to be given you. It is so with the cave of symbols. It is so with the golden city, the golden etheric city, and it is so with the retreat in Arabia. Beloved, precious ones, these things are no myth, no part of anyone's imagination. They are real physical places, mighty focuses of light and power and wisdom, by which humanity are held. 240. In the light, does this sound drastic to you? Held from their own destruction. Do you not see, precious students of the light, if there were not some very great assistance, the viciousness of mankind uncontrolled would destroy human beings completely. If it had not been for the reality of the ascended masters throughout the ages, beginning with the Kumaras from Venus, humanity would not exist today. This is a mighty, vital truth. I call your attention to it that you may be more grateful to those blessed ones who were the vanguards of the children of light. In establishing and holding in obedience the destructive activity of the people of earth, until that day when their attention could again be drawn to their individualized source, the mighty I Am. If enough people would take hold, call forth the activity of the presence, use these mighty decrees, flood its light into the earth, into the mental and feeling world of mankind today, the work which humanity must have done for them can come forth now. They must have this assistance today if they are ever to survive. I call your attention to the activities of strikes. What do you think is back of them? Certainly no constructive thing. Many of those people are honest and sincere in believing there is a constructive activity back of them. I tell you there is not. It cannot be. It is not possible. Both sides of the activity are out of agreement, which means a destructive activity. The only possible solution that can come for mankind today, individually or collectively, nationally or internationally, is for enough of the people to call their own mighty I Am presence into action to produce these results, hold the protection, and produce the perfection which is required. The human will not do that of itself. So, today the opportunity stands before the students of the I Am, because the rest of humanity do not know how. The I Am students must render this service for the blessing of all the mass of mankind. There is no other way to help the people out of their own discord. Let me call your attention to this. Look at every source of knowledge which has ever come forth to bless the people. There has been no source on the face of the earth that has ever taught individuals how to use these mighty decrees, which go forth in the mental and feeling world of the people to produce results for them. I know some of you blessed ones still wonder how far-reaching these decrees are. I tell you, the time is rapidly approaching when you are going to see the gigantic effects they do produce. The most marvelous results are being attained by issuing these decrees individually, as well as in the mighty groups who are issuing them all over America. I tell you, the destructive force has no power longer to agitate and disturb the people. Let every I Am student and everyone who knows of the I Am presence issue these mighty decrees to silence forever that invisible, destructive element which prods people into violence, physical rebellion, and all that kind of thing, in the belief they are forcing divine justice. Such a thing is impossible. It cannot be done. You cannot through the human activity force divine justice. It must come through the power of divine love generated by mankind. This is why you, as students of the I Am, have a great privilege and a joy before you in bringing about this transcendent activity and change which must come. It cannot come from any source that does not know the mighty power of the I Am. We give all praise and blessing to every channel of light that has ever brought any light to the people, but this knowledge of the I Am is the final knowledge which is to set humanity free, regardless of any human opinion. We know this from the Ascended Master's standpoint. All of us have applied this identical knowledge that Saint Germain has brought to you for your freedom. We applied it with earnest, firm determination and have the results. So, you must see that only from an Ascended Master activity, which has gained freedom by this identical application, can you have the encouragement, the strength, the assistance to sustain you, until you grasp the reins of your own dominion sufficiently to sustain your own power and activity through your presence. Precious ones, today your joy should be the greatest ever known on earth. I am frank to say in the majority of the I am students it is so, but in your knowledge of this presence, dear hearts, do not longer allow your intellect to interrupt or interfere with it. Just go on and on calling this mighty I am presence into action with firm, calm determination. Say to everything that has any appearance of less than perfection, I instantly withdraw all power from you. You are helpless to affect me or my world. Oh, my precious ones, you can do this with such speed and activity that soon nothing discordant will attempt to touch your world. Dear ones, it is such a great joy for us to continue to remind you of these simple, majestic activities. They are clothing you more and more each day with the certain, definite consciousness that you are really master of your world. It is not so difficult. It is only because unknowingly sometimes individuals still accept through the feeling the old ideas. Do not be discouraged if once in a while those things intrude, or you find them acting in your feeling world. Just with a calm serenity say, oh no, you human activity. You are finished. You cannot act. I do not give you any further power to act in my world. Therefore, you are helpless. As you take a firm, determined stand, do. You see that the human qualities cannot act in your world longer to produce unhappiness for you. Please remember that we are not eavesdropping, but in our great joy we watch, oh, we have to do it, watch the progress of the beloved students everywhere. Can you not feel my joy this moment as we call your attention to the mighty progress which has been made, oh, in so short a time, precious ones? Not one of you beloved, earnest students who considers yourself 100% for the I am, is the same being at all that you were even a year ago, not in the slightest. You may still look like you did, but yet I say from the inner standpoint, you are in no wise the same being. Then, you can understand why our joy is so very great. May I say a word for the encouragement of a few of the precious ones who sometimes, when conditions sort of suddenly confront them and they do not quite see the way out, feel all gone for a little while. Dear ones, remember, it is not you. It is just a sinister suggestion which unknowingly you have allowed to register in your feelings. Instantly turn on it and tell it, it has no power, and you will dismiss it. Do you see that when you do this with firm determination, you take out of the quality which is starting to act, any power whatsoever to affect you longer? It is just simply marvelous when you find you have the authority and power to do this. No earnest, precious one is ever forsaken, dear hearts, once you have touched this light. Oh, it is so wonderful to know how the great ones are watching over you, watching for the opportunity at your call, to amplify and assist you in every way, in ways you could not outwardly imagine. In the activity of the great cosmic light, which has become so tremendous in the outer world today, oh, precious ones, accept its full power to act in your world. I say to you that by the end of June or July many of you will know the truth of which I have spoken tonight. This is no idle activity, you have entered into a mighty stream of light, and unless you deliberately and willfully turn aside from it, it will serve you without limit. Do you realize how greatly privileged you are to be the vanguards of this work which Saint Germain has brought forth? Why were you chosen? Why are you here in these groups? Why have you been in these classes? Not by just happening to be so. For your great encouragement I say to you with all the love and power at my command, you are here because your light was strong enough to make it possible for you to be selected. You were chosen among the first of the I am students to have this knowledge and to spread this mighty radiance forth. That is why, dear hearts, you are here. It is why the great intensity of the light from your hearts has drawn you close into this great stream of life. It should be of the greatest encouragement in the world to every one of you. This is not to pat you on the back, oh, far from it. But to give you in your feeling world the mighty courage and strength, because it is true. Your own light drew you and made you a part of this great activity. You are the choosers of what shall come into your world. Remember this. You can, in the knowledge of your presence, dismiss anything that you do not want. Assert your power in the acknowledgement of your mighty I Am presence. I want to remind you again tonight, precious ones, that when you call your mighty I Am presence into action, there is no other authority in the universe. If you wish to give assistance to someone, you do not have to ask that person's permission in calling their mighty I Am presence into action, because it is the full law and authority of their being and it wants perfection to reign there, so you are not taking a chance. Do not ever let your human intellect make you wonder if you should do this or that when you wish to call the I Am presence into action to bless or help anyone. The presence is the authority. You are but making the call for their freedom and perfection. You, outwardly, are not doing anything but calling perfection into the outer world, and everyone on earth has a right to do it. So, watch out. Be free from any interference in your mental activity through wondering if you have the right to do this or that. You have all right and authority to call the mighty I Am presence into action at any time to produce perfection for another. Do not let anything make you waver in that, for in a call for others, you gain tremendously for yourselves. I know among some of mankind people have been taught that it is selfish to be free. If one individual waited for the rest of humanity to be free who do not want their freedom, it would be a long process, would it not, in attaining perfection? Therefore, your part in the world is to call your mighty I Am presence into action to produce perfection for you. As you gain in your own perfection, your ability, your strength is 10, 20, or 50 times greater to give assistance and to call the presence of others into action to produce its perfection for them. This is why the Ascended Master is limitless in his power and activity, in his power to give assistance, according to the law of the individual. Now that the great cosmic law has permitted more assistance to be given, you can be free, if you will. You precious ones have the law. Now apply it to your freedom. Do not let a single thing daunt you in the slightest in making your application. Keep it up, until you have the outer manifestation of the perfection you decree and which your heart desires. There is nothing in the world but yourself that can keep you from it, dear hearts. Oh, how these beloved messengers have poured forth dynamic application for your freedom. They will continue to do it until you have your eternal freedom. Remember, these blessed ones are still in the atomic structure of the earth with you, and their firmness in the call to your mighty I Am presence, for your freedom is dynamite. It does and will produce results in spite of any human qualification. Dear ones, will you not join with these beloved messengers in pouring forth the call to the mighty I Am presence, to produce perfection for every I Am student throughout America and the world? They never cease. Will you be kind enough to join in a never-ceasing activity of calling the mighty I Am presence into action to produce its perfection in the world everywhere, in industry, in all activities, in official places everywhere? The blessed ones in those positions need strength to keep them within the reach of the law of divine justice. Through this a service can be rendered today never before known in the history of the earth. This work, in the momentum which has gone forth, is producing results in the inner activity of the world. You would be positively astonished if you were suddenly able to witness it. We see all of this from the inner standpoint, dear hearts, and we would not utter a word to you that is not true. We speak of these things only to give you strength and encouragement and to show you what your tremendous effort is producing. It is producing results beyond your fondest expectation and hope. They will come into outer manifestation. You will see and know, as the messengers have in the hundreds of instances where the application has been made earnestly and firmly, the results have been produced. It is only the beginning of the great mass activity which will go forth and produce such great results in the world. Our love is so great for precious humanity who can and will accept this great, great light which Saint Germain has brought forth. One day, I shall ask permission of the great divine director to tell you something about Saint Germain which you do not know. That mighty presence has done more for mankind than any other ascended master who has ever lived. Some of you may think I am belittling Jesus in this statement. That is not true. Jesus rendered a mighty service, as the messengers have told you, leaving the etheric record of the ascension, a mighty thing. but his service has not been continuous from the self-conscious application, as in the activity of Saint Germain in the work he has done for centuries. Remember, Saint Germain's work, which has been called to your outer attention, began 70,000 years ago. He and the beloved Nada have carried many civilizations to their heights. That is what the outer world, who have questioned Saint Germain, needs to know and shall know. I stand as the champion of his mighty activity to all mankind and shall always do so. Jesus has asked me to make this statement to you tonight. Saint Germain has had the courage and took upon himself the responsibility of bringing many civilizations to their heights. Each time he has carried it through with the assistance of the beloved Nada. These are things, precious ones, which the outer world is going to come to know. It is why his work, today, cannot be interfered with by any human, sinister thing. We thank the great presence of the I Am with all the love at our command, that these beloved messengers have had the strength, which he saw within them, to carry on without being destroyed, and that will continue. Dear hearts, will you believe it when again I assert, you have entered a mighty stream of light which no human, destructive thing has any power to interfere with, or retard its onward progress. Every destructive element, watch it, will be swept aside as a feather in a windstorm, until the goal, the freedom of humanity, is reached. Is it any wonder that you, the precious children of the light, pour forth such great love to these blessed ones, when you have found those who have had the inner strength to do this? They have the strength and the courage to tell the students when and if they are making a mistake, and to hold them with all loving kindness in obedience to the suggestion of the divine director, and those whose wisdom knows the things that need to be done. Today, beloved ones, with all the great firmness at our command, we pour into your feeling world the same great firmness and authority, to stand invincible in your mighty I Am presence until its whole perfection has swept into your outer world's activity, produced its perfection, and holds its dominion forever. There is no power in opposition to this great light anywhere in the universe. Show me any teachers in the outer world who have poured forth so continuously such great love as these messengers have poured forth to the students everywhere. It is unparalleled in the history of the earth, and instead of diminishing, it is every day expanding. How can any earnest student allow a single feeling to register in his or her being but love for these blessed ones? Your freedom, precious ones, comes in your love poured out to your mighty I Am presence, Saint Germain, and these messengers. Remember, Saint Germain had the courage and power and strength to bring this forth. These beloved messengers have had, under his direction, the power and strength and courage to carry forth this message in the face of the most destructive element mankind has ever sent forth. I say that to you with authority. The ascended masters, the Legion of Light, the Great White Brotherhood, the great cosmic beings, and the gods of the mountains, seeing this, have all joined in this activity with the determination to set mankind free. If the people will but give their attention to them, first to their mighty I Am presence, and then to these great beings. This is why, again tonight, we call your attention to this mighty activity, your immeasurable privilege not only to have your freedom, but the great assistance you can pour forth to bless each other and all mankind. Will you not do this, oh, precious ones, whom we love beyond all words to express? Will you not with renewed determination stand with greater determination, stronger and more powerfully with your mighty I Am presence, in calling it forth in great calm determination? Oh, do not, please, precious ones, have any frenzied activity in calling your presence into action, but with a great calm, serene activity that releases such great power from the presence, enter into it. Feel the glory of your presence flowing in and through you, beautifying, perfecting, and giving you perfect health in body and mind. Then, let it flow out into your world with its mighty, irresistible power to produce harmony and perfection there, holding everything in obedience to this great presence and light, until everything of a discordant nature is swept out of your world and out of the world of all humanity. That is what we want you to have. With all the love at our command and with, such great gratitude, we pour forth assistance to blessed mankind who have been willing to accept this knowledge of the mighty I Am, and carry on in this work individually and collectively, producing such great results. We thank you, and in deepest gratitude we bow before that great presence which beats your heart, calling it into action in greater, and greater dominion in your mind, body, home, and world. Out of the fullness of its great strength, power, and perfection may it reign, holding its dominion in you and your world, producing each day greater and greater perfection and blessings to you and your associates. In the fullness of the power, the wisdom, and the light of the great host of ascended masters, amplifying your call to your mighty I Am presence, we call tonight. We call this tremendously, eternally sustained charge into your world and activity, causing it to produce its results and perfection for you. We charge you individually with the great ascended master substance which will assist you greatly in gaining your dominion, but do not give power to anything else but your presence. There is no other power in your world but your mighty I Am presence. If you give power to something else, the fault is yours. You know the difference, and from now on you may not accept discordant appearances. You may only accept the full power and perfection of your presence flowing out into your world. If you accept the appearance of less than perfection, then again the fault is yours. I plead with you, stand guard through your mighty I Am presence, so you do not in the feeling accept anything ever again but its full power and action. Then quickly your world will be set into divine order and flooded with the glory, the joy, happiness and supply of everything required right at hand, to glorify you and allow you to serve in the fullest, most powerful manner that any heart desires. Tonight, in the fullness of the blessing which is pouring forth to you, will you not accept it with great loving kindness, feeling its supremacy taking command to act in your world until you, through the full conscious feeling, feel the dominion of your presence to forever sustain you. Tonight we leave our blessings with you and cause them to be ever active and wholly sustained in, through, and for you, your home, and your world. I thank you.